Welcome to the COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show with head coach Jeff Shore, brought to you by the amazing folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, Hy-Vee in Osage Beach, and Polylift Boat Lifts. Well, it's a beautiful day out here. I'm telling you, the weather is doing good. It's hard to believe we're already almost halfway through the high school football season. You see, we got the big guy from the Camdenton Lakers, head coach Jeff Shore. Coach, we talked last week about the challenge of going to West Plains. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are, what kind of a team you have. You go to West Plains, and they're tough.
Yeah, and they do have an exceptionally good team this year, and as advertised, after seeing them, they're a very solid ball club. And like I said, the long road trip early in the season for us. The timing wasn't real good for us, but actually, ball game ended up 28-6. But there was a couple of different plays on there that could have been a lot different outcome, a lot different score. So, not displeased. The kids actually played really hard against, I thought, a really good football team. I see a lot of bright spots, and it's kind of good to have that 3 out of 4 road trip done. And kind of start anew here with homecoming this week.
Absolutely, and we talked about that going into the season. It was kind of murder's row to start the year with 3 of the first 4 on the road, and not just 3 of 4, but some really good teams in there. I remember Bill Parcells, when he was coaching the Cowboys, used to always say, "You are what your record says you are." But sometimes you're better than that because of what where you're playing and who you're playing.
Yeah, and like I said, our guys' main thing is just stay positive. Like I said, we've got a lot of good things going. Like we're young, very young in spots. We've said that before, and there was a lot of bright spots to take from that. Our defense played exceptionally well. It never broke, and like I said, there was we put the ball on the ground on the 1-inch line twice.
That'll kill you.
Literally, and that's not exaggeration. We were 1 inch away from scoring twice, and ended up turning the ball over. So there's 14 points on the board right there. And so, it was one of those games that they put the ball on the ground, I believe, 8 times, and we didn't get one. So it didn't go our way, and we needed some of it to go our way. So I was really proud of our kids. They hung in there and played hard on the road. Tough place to play, and there's a lot of bright spots. And our districts came out today, and that's kind of fun to see where we land there and who we're going to end up playing. And so the key for our guys is just stay up, stay positive, and get ready to go this week.
So what did you find out about districts? How's that looking?
So we ended up in Jefferson City, Jefferson City Jays, Capital City, the new school there.
Yeah.
Us, Battle High School, Washington High School out of the St. Louis area is also in there. And so that's the districts, the way they shape up. So that's I'm not say good, bad draw, whatever. It's who you play. So that's exciting. It's exciting stuff there.
Yeah, and that's interesting. One of the great things about Missouri high school football is everybody makes the playoffs. There's a lot of states where you have to qualify. A lot of teams have great seasons, don't get in. Other teams, maybe in a weaker conference, poor seasons, they get in. Here, everybody gets a shot.
They do, and I left out Rolla, by the way. Rolla's in their district too, so I like that, and it looks like it's on the east part of the state, so it's different than what we've been playing. The side we've been playing on the last couple of years, so that's traditionally we've had some good luck going east, so that's not a bad thing for us. You're gonna have to play well, obviously, and everything else, but it definitely is a path that it looks like something that. We can definitely shoot for, and the odds are maybe a little bit more in our favor that way.
Yeah, and you've got 4 games in the book, 5 games yet to play, which means you have a whole lot of opportunity to find your identity, to get on a roll heading into the postseason. I mean, nothing is out of the realm at this point.
No, we're looking at this 5th game kind of as a restart to our season. We're 2-2 right now. Have got a couple of good wins and been somewhat close in a couple other ones. I feel like that. Like I said, our experience and stuff is getting better. So, it's kind of it's good. We're back home. 3 out of our next 5 or whatever are going to be at home, or 3 out of our next. So we've got a good setup here. So it's time for our kids to kind of, just kind of come together and like I said, stay positive and regroup here and get ready for a good little stretch here of games.
Yeah, you got a tough one this week, Bolivar. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then you're at Hillcrest, home to Lebanon, home to Glendale, and at Rolla.
Right.
So, Still 5 good games left there,
fantastic,
man.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So, head coach, I mean, there's a lot of pressure that comes with being a head coach on both sides. Last year, you go undefeated until, your last game of the year. You're number 1, number 2 in the state. There's pressure that comes with that, right? I mean, because people are expecting you to win every week.
Well, if you couldn't handle the pressure taking over after Bob Shore, then, nobody else won the job, basically. So, I've been doing it a long time. So, things are never as good as they seem, and they're never as bad as they seem. Yep. So, we will, like I said, we're very good at keeping the ship stable, as we'd say. And our kids they'll react well. And, it's not like we haven't been in this situation before. I mean, we've won a lot of games last couple of years, and through our history here, we won a lot of games. But there's been times we've dropped a few as well. So it's it's all a process, and the coaching deal is like I said, you get used to it. Everybody's got an opinion, and you get pretty thick skin, and that's okay. That's just part of it. They're excited about it. I say they're passionate about it, and that's good. So. Not really. There's not. Like I said, you got to be able to handle that and move on and stay focused and kind of get let the noise go away and just do the best you can for your kids and your team to put them in the best position and keep them going so they got the best chance. Yeah.
Well, and the kids, I mean, you're not just trying to win football games, but you're really teaching life lessons to kids and what they see from you, how you handle both adversity and triumph and everything. They take that with them the rest of their lives. They'll never forget that.
Absolutely, it's easy when you're winning. So right. Like I talked to them, when things aren't going right, it's when the cracks in the foundation show, and we got to keep patching those cracks up and doing that. And it is, sports is a fantastic life lesson, and football probably more than most other sports because it is unique in its toughness and its some of its characteristics of football. So. We have 2 missions. One is to help those kids along on their next path to manhood, do the best we can to set some examples and give them some things to work on through the sport of football. And then the other one is try to win ball games, and those are of equal importance on both ends. So, it's a balance, but like I said, it's a very enjoyable one, and there's no finer feeling than when you do a good job and the kids understand and believe and have a little success because of it.
We're talking with Camdenton Lakers head football coach Jeff Shore. This is the COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show, and we will preview the game coming up this week against Volleyball. We'll do that right after this. What is COMC? A health center where everyone has access to high-quality, affordable medical, dental, and behavioral health care, regardless of insurance or ability to pay. Offering primary care, preventative, chronic, pediatrics, and OBGYN. COMC even offers comprehensive dental and same-day emergency care. A health center that focuses on every aspect of your health. Everything your family needs to stay healthy. At COMC, your health is our mission.
Polylift Boat Lifts. Boaters everywhere have relied on Polylift Boat Lifts to raise their boat up and out of the water time and time again. Polylift Boat Lifts are made of the finest materials and offer a lifetime warranty on the tanks. Stop by Polylift and see the huge selection of wet steps, water toys, and dock accessories. You can even shop online at polylift.com. Polylift Boat Lifts. You know what they say.
We got time to build boat lifts. We build Polylifts.
Your time on the water is limited, and Hy-Vee in Osage Beach knows it. Let us do the shopping so you can maximize your lake time. With our Aisles online app, you can have your groceries delivered or ready for contactless pickup when you arrive to the lake. With all your grilling favorites, snacks, fresh produce, and home to the lake's largest wine, spirits, and beer department, your weekend at the lake starts with Hy-Vee in Osage Beach, where you'll find a helpful smile in every aisle. Welcome back to the Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show, the COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show, brought to you by Central Ozarks Medical Center, Hy-Vee, and Polylift Boat Lifts. So 2-2, back at home, thank goodness, this week against a really tough team again. I mean, this year's schedule's been just brutal so far, and you got another one in Bolivar this week.
Yeah, correct. Bolivar was undefeated last year.
Yeah.
Got beat by Webb City in the their district championship game. And they dropped their first game, of the year last week. They got beat by Glendale.
Yeah. Glendale, by the way, wow.
Yeah, they played pretty well.
Jeez.
So, So obviously a very good opponent coming in. The great thing is it's at home. That really helps. I thought our energy level at home 2 weeks ago was fantastic. It just felt, I guess you would say it felt normal in these kind of odd times. It felt normal to be back at the Bob Shore Stadium, aka the JOD. So it was, it was good for our kids. And like I said, we kind of got that rough stretch over, and I think it's kind of one of those deals. Our kids are settled in. I think we'll have a good week of practice this week. I really do. I think we'll bounce back pretty well, and we'll be excited. It's homecoming for us. It'll look a little different, I think, than normal homecomings with the COVID stuff, but our kids are really excited about getting back home and getting to play some football here at home.
So what does Bolivar do well? What is their strength? They like to run the ball, they a throw-in team. What is their calling card?
They are literally probably, if you come to the ball game or watch any film, they're literally probably the biggest offensive line I've ever seen a high school team have.
Wow.
I mean, they're absolutely massive on the offensive line. So they're going to try to control the football and really run it and take some time off the clock and take some long possessions and long drives. So they are literally probably one of the bigger offensive lines I've ever seen in a high school football team. So they're going to use that to their advantage, or try to. So we're going to have to do some things to counter that. We're going to have to use our quickness and try to beat them to the punch, I guess you'd say. And then defensively, they're going to be solid. They're just going to do not going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to be in the right place. And offensively, we're going to have to go fast. We're going to have to just pour the gas on and really try to get to them and get as many shots at scoring the football as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. What changed with Bolivar? Because they didn't seem to be a powerhouse, and all of a sudden, the last couple of years, they've become a powerhouse.
Well, some of that's talent level.
Yeah, that'll help.
At high school, you are subject to who is coming up. There is no recruiting. There is no other guys. So you're playing with the guys you got, and I think that's what I'm so proud of our program over the years is we've had such consistent winning teams, and we haven't had the same talent level every year. But our kids have really rose up and tried to reach their maximum talent level. I can't say we do that every year. I mean, that's obviously the goal, but you fall short on occasion. But I will say, for our program-wise, our kids have really got the very best out of what they've got. So, I think Bolivar, talent-wise, their talent pool has come up a little bit, and I think their coach has done a good job as well, Coach Johnson there. And so, you put those two things together, and you win some football games.
Helps to have big, massive guys.
It does. It does.
So if we look at the conference right now, Kickapoo 3-0, West Plains 4-0 in conference play. I believe Bolivar 3-1, and then you got you guys, Lebanon, Rolla, Glendale, all 2-2.
Correct.
It's like still wide open with 5 games left to go.
It really is. I think the front runner is probably West Plains. After playing them,
Yeah.
I'm legitimately convinced they are the top 5 football team in the state of Missouri right now in their classification. And I've seen some football, so that's a pretty good judgment.
Yeah.
Unless they implode or something odd. With COVID, you never know. But so I think they're probably the odds-on favorite to run the table in the conference. So if a couple of guys, if they can have a couple of bad games and get a couple of defeats, you're right, it is kind of wide open. I think we've got our what I would call our visiting stretch away, where we've had to go, like we talked about, the 3 away games. So we've got at least some home games. So I think it gives us a chance to finish strong here and run into the districts.
All right, so it's a big home game Friday night. It'll be the Lakers home against Bolivar. Great matchup. Both teams went deep into the playoffs last year, so ought to be a lot of fun.
It may be our first meeting with Bolivar, I think,
Yeah.
in history. I can't remember. I've been around it, like I said, for a long time, since '75. And off the top of my head, I can't remember us ever playing Bolivar. I may be wrong in that, but
It's been a while, one way or the
I
other.
cannot remember that. So that's neat to have a new opponent, someone you haven't played, And like I said, it's going to be great to be at home. Our crowd was unbelievable 2 weeks ago. Weather looks great, so it's going to be a good afternoon.
Absolutely. As always, thank you, Coach, for your time. Appreciate it very much. Hoping for a win on Friday night. We'll talk again next week. That is the COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show with head coach Jeff Shore, brought to you by Central Ozarks Medical Center, Hy-Vee, Osage Beach, and Polylift Boat Lifts.